it's been just over 9 months since the launch of the PlayStation 4. Literally, it's been like 9 months and not even a week. That also means it's been 9 months for Killzone Shadowfall, a game I've been covering somewhat extensively, or was covering somewhat extensively on my channel with the weapon guides and the occasional video here and there, and talking about the new maps and stuff like that. So this video is really about what the state of the game is right now, the state of the Warzone, as I call it. I've done one of these videos before. This is the second, because like I said, we are 9 months in, and we're kind of coming, we're very close to that year mark, and we're getting close to the release of Destiny and Call of Duty and all the other kind of new first-person shooters and big games that are going to take over at the end of this year, and you know, those will carry on for the next year or so. So the biggest thing with the game right now, for a lot of people, it's not hugely important to me because I'm not that involved on that side of the game, but for a lot of people, especially with the Killzone series, is clans and the lack of clan support in Killzone Shadowfall. The last update we got on what I believe has been referred to as Phase 2 of the clan system was supposed to come out this month. We're a little over a week away from the end of that, and we still have no information on it. We don't have a release date. We don't have anything. Maybe it'll be a stealth release at some point. I know we just got new maps for Intercept, but I don't know what's going on, and it's really disappointing. This is something that should have been there on day one. It took until like March before people could actually just set up clans. They still can't do anything with them, but you can have a clan tag and have members, but you still can't do clan matches. You don't have any of that stuff that was so present in Killzone 2 and Killzone 3, especially in Killzone 2. I know the clan system in that game was very robust, and it is somewhat amazing that it has taken as long as it has, and I think it's another one of those things that says that Killzone Shadowfall was rushed for the launch of the PlayStation 4. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Killzone Shadowfall is a good game. I think Shadowfall is a good game. I have a lot of good things to say about it. I do have some not so good things to say about it as well. I mean, the campaign, I think one of the big ways you can see it's rushed is in the campaign, and that is, you know, the first 4 chapters or so of that I really enjoyed. I liked the open design and being able to tackle battles in different ways, but after that, it just went downhill for me. I felt the game got more linear, and just, it lost something that I liked about that opening section of the game, and I think this is a game that suffered from being rushed. So it is disappointing. It's disappointing and somewhat amazing that we don't have clan support, that we don't have any information. And what's so amazing about the fact that we've gotten so little information on it is how open Guerrilla has actually been otherwise. To switch this around on a more positive note, they have actually been very good about supporting the game and being open with the community and communicating with the players with what small base is left, because there aren't a ton of people left playing. Like, even myself, I'm not that frequent like I used to be. I played this game, I played Shadowfall like non-stop for a few months after the PS4 came out, and then I started getting other games and going back to my PS3 backlog and stuff like that. But the support is good, and that stuff keeps bringing me back, like new maps, the free maps, which is one of the best things that Guerrilla did with this game, because having paid map packs splits up the community. This is something they've said multiple times. I've brought it up in videos, and I wish more games would follow this. I get that they want to monetize the game through DLC. That's what pretty much everyone wants to do, but you can do that through, I guess, microtransaction-like stuff, like the spotlight moves and skins for Automata. These are, you know, aesthetic things that people can buy if they want to. And of course, the major expansions are paid for. The stuff that gives you new weapons, new classes, they are paid for, and I get that. But maps, just like one of the really core elements of the game that you know, everyone really should have, those things need to be free. So I commend Guerrilla on that, along with, of course, the constant support that they have been giving this game, because that's something that I kind of got on. I wasn't too happy with Killzone 3. I thought they dropped support on that pretty quickly. They got some map packs out, but there was really little done otherwise, and maybe that was just my own not paying attention and playing other games, because I was in high school and basically it was Call of Duty or bust back then. But I do commend them for the support they have given Shadowfall. Of course, Intercept, Killzone Shadowfall Intercept, the co-op mode is out. Not just the DLC add-on for the full game, but the standalone version. And the standalone version has been bringing in new players. Mesa Sean, if you know who he is, he's kind of become the de facto Killzone YouTuber, is talking about how on Intercept there's a lot of new players right now. Now, I haven't played a ton of Intercept, so I don't have anything to say on that regards. But over on the competitive multiplayer side in Warzones, I am seeing new players. I'm seeing some low-level players, and it makes me wonder if something that I talked about in my Intercept video is actually working. People are buying the standalone and liking how the guns feel and just the universe and the look and the graphics and stuff like that, and they're saying, hey, I want to play the campaign, I want to play the competitive multiplayer, and they're going out and buying the full game so they can go and play those things. And that's fantastic. That really is, because it's bringing more people into the community. It's helping to bolster the numbers of what I've said already is kind of a small player base. Killzone's always had more of a hardcore following. It doesn't put up the big numbers of a Call of Duty or a Battlefield, but Shadowfall is definitely on the lower side even for this series. So getting more players in there is good. It will help breathe some life into the game, because I don't know how much life it really has left with Destiny just around the corner. I mean, Destiny's going to be a huge game, especially on the PlayStation 4 with the marketing deals and the exclusive content and all the crazy stuff that they're doing with that partnership between Activision, Bungie, and Sony. So that is going to be interesting to see what happens as we get into the next few months, because I don't know what's going to happen to Shadowfall. Will it die out? I don't think it'll die out entirely. There will be people that stick with it, but we will see going forward. One of the next things I'm looking forward to in the future is the second multiplayer expansion. We just got new maps for Intercept, like I mentioned earlier, but we are supposed to be getting a second multiplayer expansion to the competitive side, to Warzones. And all that's really been confirmed, and I'm not even sure it's been confirmed, more just hinted at, is new weapons. We don't know if there's going to be a new class. Hopefully there will be a new class, because that's kind of the big selling point, unless they do like a lot of weapons that come in and a lot of abilities that come in or something like that. There should be another new class. Who knows what it's going to be? I suspect it'll be something that's not that doesn't make a huge change to the gameplay the way that the Insurgent was done, where you weren't really introducing new abilities. There were some new abilities, but you didn't have a new class with a whole new set of abilities and a whole new set of weapons that couldn't be used by the other classes. They basically, you would steal the abilities and the weapons of those other classes and use them and combine them in different ways, which was cool. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I know a lot of people do like it. It was a really cool idea, so I'm glad it's there. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in that regard in terms of a new class, and I'm looking forward to new guns. Like I said, I would love to see some classic or new, it doesn't really care, but I would definitely love it if there was a classic weapon such as the VC-32 sniper rifle making a return, because I love that gun, and I would absolutely be covering those. I would bring the weapon guides back, which have been inactive since that last expansion back in April, I think it was, because there's been no guns for me to cover. So if there are new weapons, and I think that expansion drops in October, I will definitely be covering those. And I guess the big question at the end of all this is what is next? Really, what is next? Guerrilla Cambridge, the sister studio that worked on Killzone Mercenary for the PS Vita, is supposedly working on a high-profile, multi-million dollar franchise. Now, that could mean a few things. There's really only two possibilities in my mind. The first is that they are reviving Medieval, which is a series that they created back on the PS1. So that's a possibility, because, I mean, the character showed up in PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. That is a mouthful of a title. But the character, I can't remember his name, Sir Daniel, I don't remember his last name, but he was in there, so maybe that comes back. I think what is more likely, since this is now a studio branded with the Guerrilla name, they worked on Killzone Mercenary, Guerrilla proper, as we know, is working on a new IP, I'd be honestly shocked if Guerrilla Cambridge isn't working on the next Killzone. And I wrote a pretty lengthy blog post about that. If anyone wants to go read it, I'll put a link in the description. So I talked about my ideas for the story and the multiplayer and stuff like that. So I really do think Guerrilla Cambridge is working on a new Killzone. Of course, Guerrilla proper, as I said, is working on a new IP. No one really knows what that is yet. It's supposedly an RPG, a role-playing game, which will be something totally different for them. But we don't know what it is, and I don't know when we'll get to see it. Probably not till next year. Maybe E3 next year. So, I guess that brings up the final question. How long is support going to continue? How long will Guerrilla continue to put out content? I know that the timeline they released ends in, I think, December. Is that going to be the end of it? From there on, will they, you know, put Shadowfall down and start talking about their new IP? I don't know. I don't work at Guerrilla, but I suspect that'll be what we see. So anyways, that's really what's going on with Killzone Shadowfall right now. Those are kind of my thoughts interspersed throughout there, and I've been rambling a lot, and this video is long. Oh my god. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share it around if you would take the few seconds it takes to do that. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time.